Hi guys. Now that we have installed and downloaded and installed the Android Studio on our computer, let's get started with some real coding. Let's get our hands dirty with the coding thing, right? And for that, the first thing that we will do is we will open Android Studio. So for different machines, there is a different way of opening Android Studio. Like I'm working on Mac, so I simply typed on Mac in the navigator, and Android Studio just popped in here. And here we can see multiple options. So we can start a new Android Studio project. We can open an existing Android Studio project. Now that we don't have any existing project, we can't open projects, right? We can check out project from a version control, which is GitHub, SVN, and many other things like that, which we discussed in the last module. We can import projects from Eclipse, ADT, Gradle, and etc. So Eclipse ADT is the tool which is very similar to Android Studio. Eclipse ADT was used earlier by the developers and now it has been deprecated. So 99% of the developers today mostly use Android Studio. Nobody uses Eclipse ADT, and partly because Eclipse ADT doesn't have any support for Gradle, which is a very amazing build system. And then we can import an Android code sample. So Android code sample is something which is again provided by Android Studio, a simple Android code sample. So basically you can try Android code sample on your own. We will start with starting a new Android Studio project. I'll name my application as Hello World, leave the company domain as it is, and then you can select the location where you want your project to be. I want my project to be in this projects folder, projects and Android Studio, right? Click on next. So here again there are certain options like phone and tablet, like for which device you want your Android application to work for. Is it just the phone and tablet? Is it the Android watch, the wear thing? Is it, do you also want your Android application to work on television? Android Auto is you are building Android applications for cars. So Android also has an operating system for cars, right? So you can build an Android app for cars as well. And the last one, we have Android Glass, which is a very hyped one. You must have heard about Android Glass. If you haven't heard about it, just go directly to YouTube right now and see what it is. It's an amazing thing. So right now we will only create application for phone and tablet. Here we need to select a minimum SDK, right? So Android has a different versions, like we have ice cream sandwich, jelly bean, honeycomb, gingerbread, and marshmallow, nougat. You all must have heard about all these things. Like these are very funny names which Google gives to its Android versions. And internally for developers, Google also, whenever there is a new version launch, there also comes a new API. So for every version, for every Android version, we have a new API. So as you can see, starting from API 1, 2, 3, we have API 24. Most of the phones, like 99% of the phones today, are at least supports ice cream sandwich, which is Android 4.0.3. So I'll select my minimum API as Android 4.0.3. Let's click on next. We need to add an activity to our application, which is the first page which the user sees when the user opens your application. So let's not get into the nitty-gritties of the activities. We will discuss it in very detail, in depth later. So let's just select empty activity and click on next. I won't want to name, like, let's leave it as it is. Don't do anything with it. Let the name of the activity be main activity. The name of the layout is activity main. We will talk about again about what activity is, what layout is in later modules. Let's click on finish. So the moment I click on finish, Android Studio starts creating my projects. It's building Android Studio Gradle project info, which is the very first Gradle file, and which basically describes how our Android application will work, what all the dependencies that will be required, which is what is the minimum SDK required for our Android application to work, and all those, like, the very basic things. And once this is done, we get this window. So here you can see this is our basically the Android Studio thing. Here we get tip of the day, like how to use Android Studio to get most out of it. You can click on next tip, next tip, next tip every time. And I don't want to get tips on every startup. So I'll untick this, it's not happening, so let it be. I'll just simply close it, right? And here my project has completely loaded. This is the activity that we were talking about like a couple of seconds back. So now the Android Studio has created a very basic skeleton for my Android app. Here we have the everything. And in next topic we will discuss more about Android Studio, all the tools and everything that you are seeing over here. We will discuss each and everything in detail. For now, this is it, right? Yeah. So you can explore more on your own as well. And before moving to next topic, suggest you, I recommend you, I request you to please go through this Android Studio, each and everything in detail, so you can understand it, like in a much well manner, right? So thank you guys, and I think that's it for now. All right, yeah, okay, bye.